All right.
Please look at that camera, man.
Yes, indeed. Here we
Yeah.
are. Well, welcome to the Gene Dexter Show on another beautiful Seattle day. Really one of the best summers I can recall.
Man, it's nice.
Yes, indeed. Sitting next to me is very iconic figure. I can't think of a really better word than iconic figure in the hip hop music industry, based right here in Seattle. 2006 West Coast DJ of the Year, an award, a very high award bestowed upon the best DJs in the country by the Power Summit people, and also co-host, or I should say co-tenors at both Cube Radio 93 FM here in Seattle and the KEXP radio program from the University of Washington, which is also a very well respected global presence in the music community as well. Would you please welcome Mr. DJ B Mello?
Yeah, that was a great introduction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
What's
you.
happening, everybody?
When you hear these type of things about you, and when you look at this resume from the outside,
Right.
how does that influence your day? I mean, how does that what does that do?
I mean, that's what I do. You know what I mean? The accolades they come and go. You know what I'm saying? I've basically been doing the same thing since
Hmm.
since the '80s,
Yeah.
as far as just being a DJ.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
From being a bedroom DJ to what we call like a street DJ,
Hmm.
to entering battles, to doing house parties. Then
Right.
all of a sudden, I started doing mixtapes,
Right.
started doing some clubs.
Right.
I picked up on the
Right.
non-commercial radio like KCMU.
Right. So really, what we just stated in the introduction was basically just a really kind of a taste. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah, yeah,
even.
yeah.
It's
and
not
that's
really
and
the
that's just
whole.
it's just a
Those
smidgen of
the
what I do
highlights.
as a person too. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
But you know what I mean? Yeah, that's my pretty
Hmm.
much everyday thing. You know what I mean? Especially radio now. People are always like, "Yo, where you DJing at?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
expect you to say a certain club or
Right.
man,
Right.
I'm on the radio.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Radio. Hit me up. KEXP.org, or
Exactly.
Sundays, or Cube. What is it? 5 nights a week now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Five
Five
nights a
five
week.
nights a week. Cube.
Cube93.com.
Wow. That's which
Yeah.
is like incredible. So why don't we take? I mean, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things I want to ask you
Yeah.
and to talk about. But let's just go to the present, if we may. In 2006, you picked up this award
Right. Right.
in the Dominican Republic
Yeah.
by the Power Summit, which is the DJ's convention
Yeah.
in
Definitely.
terms of uh, who's who and what's what. And you go down there as a nominee,
Yeah.
and you pick up this award.
Right. Right.
What were the next 30 days like after that, um, after that after that night? What were the next 30 days
Next 30
like?
days, really like a barrage of phone calls and emails from people that had remained in contact with me,
Mm-hmm.
but in addition to that, people that had lost contact,
Mm-hmm.
or people that, what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
necessarily weren't checking anymore, or weren't,
Right.
you know what I mean, just
Right.
keeping in contact.
Right.
So the next 30 days, I think it was like fielding a lot of phone calls, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
emails, and
Mm-hmm.
really just, trying to figure out the next move.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I really didn't think I was going to win it.
No. Who
Nah.
were you up against at that time?
Um, Man, Scotty Fox from the Bay, Billy Knight from San Diego. I'm trying to think who else that year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Felly Fell had won it the year before,
Okay.
from Power 106 in LA. So
Right.
I don't think anybody from the Northwest ever won it before,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or Hawaii or any other West Coast, Western. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Colorado or what are the
Right.
other states? Utah, Idaho, you know what I
Right.
mean? Oregon. Yeah, so
Nothing in the
I just
Northwest
assumed,
markets.
yeah, I just assumed California. It was all California DJs. So I
Right.
assumed
It was
one
gonna be
of
one of
those would
them.
win. Yeah, so
Okay.
so it kind of surprised me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Okay. And for the next year or two after that, did it do anything in particular for you that you could share with us as far as your market presence or as far as opportunities?
It did. I mean, it brought a lot of opportunities. Some missed opportunities, honestly. Like at that time, like right after that time, my daughter was on the way,
Mm,
Olivia. So as soon as I got back, I kind of raised my rates real high. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And we know the Seattle market. You and I know the
Mm,
people out there. A few know,
yeah.
but it's hard to work in the Seattle market
It,
as a DJ,
it is difficult.
especially on a big scale.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um, even like the young homie DJ Scene, he's traveling around the world DJing.
Yes.
He can't even get a certain amount in Seattle. I won't even say amounts or whatever, but
Right.
he doesn't come back and play.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And this is
And he wants to come back
right.
here.
And he want and
He
yeah,
wants
yeah,
to
and he
come.
loves the Northwest,
Yeah,
but can't really
yeah,
make a living
yeah. Can't make a
because
living
so he's
basically.
based out of Vegas, completely killing it
Yeah. Oh yeah.
throughout
Yeah.
the world. I mean, I get texts sometimes from Hong Kong and
Right. Right.
Macau, and I mean, I
Exactly.
mean, this guy is just, and he's from,
He's from
right
right here.
here,
He came up on Street Sound,
right,
Cube, same
right.
thing.
Worked with me at Crazy Pinoy,
Definitely,
and
definitely.
we did some really, yeah. I mean,
Oh yeah,
he's just an
Scene.
amazing
He's
guy,
he's been doing it forever. You know what
forever,
I mean?
and yeah, and well deserved.
Yeah.
But 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 because of the physical
Right.
location, you think that maybe there have been
I think the location, and I mean, at least from my perspective, I needed to hit the road. As soon as I won that award, I needed to hit the road and go
in
DJ,
politics a little bit.
and just really just go DJ in other markets. I had a lot of little offers, which were I call them little offers, but they're probably 3 4 times as much as I get
Big
offered
opportunities,
in the market.
right?
But having a daughter on the way, I didn't
It
want to
was
be on the road.
oh okay,
You feel
okay,
me?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like now, you know what I mean?
yeah,
She's 20 months.
right,
I probably can start hitting the road now. You know what I
okay.
mean? So, but
Well, you heard it here first, tastemakers. B
yeah.
Mello is available, so
Oh yeah.
let's see what we can do about that. Well, very good. So, all right. So it kind of shed light on your work. The award did. It it basically solidified, I think, your placement.
Right. Right. Right.
In the
Definitely.
hierarchy
Right. 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 Definitely.
of it. But being this in this particular corner
Hmm.
of of the world, there have been challenges, like there are for many of us
Right.
that are based out here
Right.
who
Right.
want to
Right.
live here, who
Right.
do.
Right.
Uh, so uh, so you're you're finding that maybe through technology, you're you know maybe kind of pushing the DJ B Mello gospel in addition to the radio
I
stuff and
think technology is helping out a lot. You know
mm-hmm
what I mean?
mm-hmm
Especially the internet.
right
You know what I mean with live webcasts and just all the social networks. Just in general, like all the blogs.
right.
Um,
Well, clearly, if you kept up with that sort of thing, I would imagine that the
right.
tour, the affiliation, will happen.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right. Definitely. Definitely.
the next thing. But yeah, that award was a good look, and I think that it still carries a lot of weight,
Yeah, the thing
especially
is,
around
like,
here.
I mean, it was the Power Summit, formerly the Mix Show Power Summit,
Mix show power summit.
and
Yep.
like you said, it was one of the biggest DJ based things. But you have to realize, I mean, the people that I know, like UL and Aaron, they were down there at
Mm-hmm.
different ones. But
Mm-hmm.
some of the earlier ones, just tons of power players as far as artists, as far
Mm-hmm.
as just industry folks,
Right.
like the who's who. You
The
know what I
who's
mean?
who.
From the
No, I mean,
I mean, not to name drop, from the
well,
Snoops to the
to the
50s to the
M&Ms, to the
yeah,
Bustas. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
yeah.
I mean, people that you don't hear showcasing, because showcasing, when you get to a certain level of the game, showcasing becomes sort of a negative,
Right,
almost
right.
connotation. But you have a lot of A-listers and the people in the
Showcasing out
community
there.
who
Yeah,
showcase on Power
exactly.
Summit.
Yeah,
It's just the way it is. Because when you have the DJ B Mellos of the world down there, when you have the dramas and the Khaleds
yeah,
and the Yoshis and I mean the scene ones of the world
yeah.
congregated in one place, believe me, they will come. They will come because DJs
Yeah.
are still the lifeblood
Of
of
course.
music, aren't they?
It's the backbone. The
The
DJ is the
backbone,
backbone.
the
You know what I'm
backbone.
saying?
And even though and you're really the only person in the country that I can think of that is doing two very distinctly different shows in the same market.
Right,
You
right,
know, you have the breaking stuff, and you have the underground, and you have the independent stuff, and then you've got
right.
the commercial
Hmm.
A-list, stuff that's going on at Cube radio.
Right.
So you're tapping into all of it, and even with that, even with those outlets,
Yeah.
you're still a street DJ. You're still a
Right.
club banger. I mean, you still are working all of these different channels because it's the DJs who are distributing ultimately
Of course.
the hot the hot ish,
No doubt.
basically.
No doubt.
You know, so I think yeah, I think that it can't be stated enough the value of what uh, DJs do.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, behind every hot artist, behind every hot brand, behind every hot label, there's a DJ. You might
There's a
not you
DJ,
you might not know, or he may be in the forefront, but
but there is a DJ
believe me, there's
somewhere,
one. Yeah.
somewhere in the mix. And
Yeah.
he's not doing remixes on it.
Hmm.
He's producing it. If he's not producing it,
Hmm.
he's plugging it somewhere. If he's not,
And a lot of these DJs are going on to do other things in the industry. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, you have to these
Yeah. Yeah.
days, especially in this
Yeah.
economy. You kind of have to switch things up,
You do.
a
You
little
do.
bit and so forth. So that's pretty cool stuff. I have a whole list of questions and things, but something just came into my mind that I thought maybe I could get your opinion on.
What's that?
Recently, these DJs have been under a barrage by
Hmm.
the RIAA,
Yeah.
and on the one hand, you've got labels that are on top of you every single day that
Right.
want to break music and so forth. But then they have legal departments, and then they have politics,
Right.
on the corporate
Hmm.
side, where they're saying, well, wait a minute, these DJs are out there, and they're putting this music on mixed CDs that they're making money on, and,
Yeah.
and they're doing this and this. And of course, in light of what happened with Big Mike recently in Boston, and the loss of quite a bit of material as well as cash,
Yeah.
which I don't even know what that's about. I mean, there's ways you can put away a couple
Right.
hundred
Right.
thousand dollars, but that aside, uh, what is your opinion on all of that, and how the industry, how there's this love hate relationship that exists among DJs?
I hate it. I mean, not among DJs, but
Not, I mean, I'm sorry, I
labels and
misstated.
DJs, right?
Not among, yeah, not among DJs, but among
Yeah.
the corporate, yeah, the corporate entities
Yeah.
that have these divisions. One of them being
Yeah.
promotion,
Right.
that go
Right.
out and their jobs are
Hmm.
to promote this, and then something like this, happens.
I think it's a lot of mixed messages. They're basically sending two messages from the
Right,
same company. You know what I mean?
right,
You have, like you say, you got to have the promotion side and the artist side
right,
who are pushing the DJs
right,
to put stuff on mixtapes, and the
right,
artists are giving them exclusives, giving
right,
them material early.
right.
Then you have, like you said, you have the legal department, you have the RIAA on the artist's behalf pushing
Trying to
against,
push, right,
calling it piracy or whatever.
right,
But
right.
to me, I mean, it's just a marketing tool,
Yes,
a mixtape. I mean, it's you know what I mean?
clearly,
Unless you're straight bootlegging, if
right,
you know what I mean, if you're putting all the material on there and
right. And
not
we don't know
mixing
the
it.
facts yet,
Right, right, right,
of that. I mean, I am I'm of the personal opinion
right, right.
that Big Mike, who's one of the most sought after DJs,
Yeah,
was probably getting hit up at every level,
yeah.
to add music and so forth, and that part is probably straight. I feel bad though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Not to interrupt, but I was wondering if that actually really happened because right after I got all the alerts and everything on Twitter, I looked at Twitter like the Bible now, because
Yes.
that's the tell all, and I saw tweets from him saying it didn't really happen, like he was denying it happened.
Well, I
So
hope
I
it
don't
didn't.
know. That's
I hope for his sake it didn't,
I mean,
because
we know it definitely happened to DJ Drama.
right. Oh,
You know what I'm
drama,
saying?
but
And
drama,
it
but drama
catapulted
had his
his career.
yes,
You know
and
what I mean?
I understand that he straightened it out.
Yeah,
He straightened them out basically real quick.
basically.
On that, and so a big ups to DJ Drama on that
Yeah.
one. But in Mike's case, if even half of this is true, I think that the only thing that they're going to get him on really has to do with the one thing that they got Al Capone on,
Tax
and that is
evasion.
the taxes. And unfortunately, it's just unfortunate to me
Yeah.
that the RIA has to stoop to that level in order to to
Yeah.
control what little they have left to
Yeah.
control. because the music industry, as you know,
Yeah,
is completely turned on its head. Everything is everything
of
now,
course.
and they still, a lot of these majors have still not figured it out.
When it comes down to it, it's money.
It is.
And
It is.
when you're hurting for money or you're looking for money,
Yes.
then you're gonna go searching for it where you know what I mean.
Where it exists.
We're letting these little mixtape DJs eat right now, and get their money.
Right.
But now that some of their income isn't flowing in like it was, where can we get more money? Oh, these guys
Oh,
are
these guys
taking
are.
out of our pocket. Let's go
Yeah, that guy
hit them.
drives
You know what
a
I mean?
that guy drives an '09,
Exactly. This is
Continental.
why we can't
That
have
drop.
that.
Right, wait, what is that? An Azure? Blah blah. Oh my God, we're gonna.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
But
So there are politics
yeah,
behind it, no doubt.
but me, like I was in the mixtape game long before all of that.
You
Like
sure were.
when there was tapes. You know what I'm saying? Cassette tapes.
And before we touch on over 200
Oh
mixed
yeah.
CDs and tapes. This guy right here, DJ B Mello. For those of you just joining me, welcome to the Gene Dexter Show. My very very special guest today is DJ B Mello from Cube 93 FM in Seattle, as well as KEXP and KEXP.org.
Yeah.
Highly respected Sunday night show that was founded and developed by a man I used to work for, and
Yes, sir.
ended up being co-partner with Nasty Nest,
Yeah.
and now B Mello has taken the reins, and he's completely blown it up to incredible new levels. So check that show out. It's Sunday, what Pacific Coast time of what
6 to 9.
6 to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's all good. Talking about mixtapes
Yes,
though,
indeed.
like just coming from the cassette days to CDs. I actually, and this is kind of like a tie-in like with the Power Summit.
Yes.
The first Power Summit, I did a mix CD with a girl named Lazy K from New Jersey, who's a big mixtape
Okay.
DJ. Just in Time,
Mm-hmm.
who was another mixtape
Right.
DJ, who was also like he was like the programmer at the Box.
Mm-hmm.
Later went to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
MTV and some other things. And I can't remember the other DJ. It was four DJs, but it was for Hip Hop Connection, which he owned mixtape.com back then.
Yes. And he
And
had an award show too, didn't he?
oh
Or
no,
no?
no, not an award show.
No, I'm
He
sorry.
had
I'm
a
thinking Just Go. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'm
yeah.
thinking
Rest in
Just Go.
peace to my man
Yes, indeed.
Justo,
Rest in peace.
who yeah, I go way back with him too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, we had this mix CD out, and there was, CDs were pretty, at least mixes on CD were kind of new. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, the Hip Hop Connection, this guy, he paid all his taxes. He kept everything on the books.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And did mixtapes. And there was there was some other sites, some New York sites that I used to distribute tapes to that were, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not as meticulous with their records or whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But anyway, he got raided by the RIAA and the FBI. This was during, I think it was the first Mix Show Power Summit in Miami.
Oh, okay.
After that year.
Okay.
Anyway, he had like ads in the Double XL was still pretty new, and
Right.
my name was in all that. And
Right.
then when he got hit pretty hard.
Really.
Like kind of like the same amount of money,
That
a couple 100,000.
might.
But
Yeah.
On the books, they
Yeah.
took his account, took all his computers, took all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The lifeblood of his
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
enterprise.
And
Yeah.
he tried to do it, so he was actually paying the taxes. So
Wow.
to me, it's like it's like mixed messages. But they hit him hard, but they weren't hitting these other people hard. So I don't know, like,
Yeah.
why did
Yeah.
they hit him?
Right. Right.
But for
Interesting.
me at the time, I just stopped doing mixtapes as far as on a street level.
On a huge or on a massive
Yeah,
or
just went straight
big
promotional
level.
only after that.
Promotion only.
Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. Wow.
No slanging mixtapes.
Wow.
Basically.
So you got gospel on
Well,
that, huh?
being in Seattle, it's like I figured I was pretty easy to find.
You're very easy to
You know
find,
what I'm saying?
actually.
So
Yeah.
I figured if
Yeah.
they, if they wanted to come find me, at
They'll
least at
find
that
you.
point, I had a lot of stuff out. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Well, on the one hand, I'm very sorry that I don't, we don't see more of that,
Right.
right now as far as the production of mixed, CDs and
Yeah.
because to me it's still the lifeblood.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
the lifeblood
I
of,
love it. I
breaking
love it.
music.
But
But at the same time, you have to you have to look at these issues. You have to look at what what these corporations
oh yeah, yeah.
you
You
know
gotta take it into
are
consideration.
doing.
You know what I mean? I mean that's why I started doing the promotional only ones. And so if it's if it's an artist or a corporation or a whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
As long as
Right.
it's straight promo,
Right.
I'm on board.
Right. Well, would you say then that maybe the best thing to do, as far as regionally, is let's just put out the original stuff. and do the mix CDs of the original stuff and break great music
Right, right,
from right
right.
here in the Northwest.
Oh, definitely,
You know,
definitely.
and by the Northwest I mean 6 markets, not just the Seattle
Right, right, right.
area. So for anyone that's hitting this up from Oregon, Idaho, Utah,
Yeah,
Vancouver, BC, even, which of course is a world market. But first of all, thank you for viewing, and know that when we speak with the DJ B Mello, that we speak for all of the 6 markets
no doubt.
of the Northwest. When we speak on these issues.
We could
So
segue into this mixtape that I have
you
here.
have a mixtape
I
right
do.
here, and is that John Moore
This is John Moore and
and DJ
DJ Hyphen.
Hyphen? Wow, what is okay? So what's going on here?
This is Cornerstone. You know Cornerstone Marketing. They
Yes,
have the Fader magazine.
yes,
This is their mixtape. They do a promotional mixtape every month.
and this is looks very classy.
Wow.
This is very nice.
This is the new. This is the new format. It's longer and it's actually I think it's recyclable.
Yes,
So it's
yes,
green friendly. You know
yes,
how we do it in Seattle.
and it's
Yeah, but this one,
and
if
it's
you
a
go,
mailer.
yeah, go Google it. It's Cornerstone number 115,
Mm-hmm.
and it's on a lot of blogs. Bloggers watching
Yes,
Hugh, big
yes,
shout out.
yes.
Two dope boys. I mean, it was probably on like 30, 40 blogs, but
Mm-hmm. What are
you
some of your favorites on
you
this
can
thing?
go download it for free. I was gonna say there's a lot of Northwest artists on it.
Yeah.
We got Jay Pender, we
Mm-hmm.
got Big Natural from the Physics did a freestyle. We
Mm-hmm.
have Blue Scholars. We have Dre's a joint that
Mm-hmm.
I did
Mm-hmm.
some scratches on,
Yes,
and
indeed. Yes, indeed.
what else we got? Jake One with Freeway.
Nice.
He has a whole project with him. So
Yes,
a
indeed.
lot of local joints on this, which
Wonderful.
we kind of went out on a limb and do some local.
It's love.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
love. Wonderful. Well, thank
Yeah,
you for shedding light, on that. Be sure to check that out.
it's free. You can go get it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, which is great. I mean,
Free is always good.
yeah, and these are guys who get it, and
Yeah,
who are making it happen. These guys have been in it for forever,
yeah,
and clearly know what they're doing. But that's very stylish, really.
yeah. I
When you
like
think
it, man.
about
And I got the Northwest shirt. Can't really see
that. There it is.
it.
There it is.
Always trying to rep, man. I got the West Coast.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
F Rock.
Yes, indeed. So my next question, it has to do with the very beginning.
All right.
When you know, we call it, starting, the bedroom DJ.
Right, right.
And maybe it was a kitchen for you, or maybe it was a backyard. Who knows? But when you began your journey
Yeah.
as a top top caliber DJ
Right.
as you are, um, did you have any ideas in mind about what it was going to be all about, and everything that was going to happen, and what was going to happen, that kind of changed after you became seasoned, and
Oh
after
yeah.
you became DJ B Mello?
Right,
Were there
right.
anything Did anything change as far as what your perception about
Oh
what it
yeah,
was going
yeah.
to be?
I had a lot of preconceived notions. I mean, I started DJing when I was a teenager.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like, I mean, I had like my parents telling me like, yeah, you'll never make any money at that. Why you wasting your time
Right.
in the bedroom? You know what I'm saying? With the turntables, and I had just different people, even my own, even my own thoughts on it was, yeah, I'll do it for 5, 10 years. It's what I love. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I had no idea I would still be doing it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right.
So
Okay.
I mean,
So the long so when you went into it, then
yeah.
you didn't have any preconceived notion about longevity,
Nah, not at
or
all. Well, I thought, I never thought I'd be DJing past like 25, 30. You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
okay. So it didn't. Okay, so actually you didn't have really any expectations at that time.
Nah, not really. I mean, I just love doing it. So it was, you know what I mean? It was like a hobby,
Yeah.
and it's like a hobby that turned into a job. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I went into the military, and I used to DJ at the NCO club
Oh, okay.
in the military,
Okay.
and it's like, I'm already getting a cool check,
Yeah.
no rent, you know what I mean?
Right.
And back in those days, I didn't realize at the time, but it was just tons of extra money.
Yeah.
and I'm DJing on the weekends, and we're getting like, I don't know, 12, 1500 a month.
Sure.
But in the 80s, like 88, 89, that's like,
That was a living. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and that was extra money.
Right.
So that
Right.
was I didn't have any expectations, and
Right.
then it's like, here's 300, 400 a night. I'm like,
Sure.
man, I love this. I'm already doing it.
Nice.
It's what I want to do.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it just seemed the obvious route. I was like, yo,
Nice.
I gotta get out of the military and just do this, bigger.
Right. Right.
Okay. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I gotta get out and come to the big city, Seattle,
Exactly.
and do it bigger.
And make it happen.
Right, right, right.
When you did that, and after a series of successes, and well, even before we talk about after that initial success
Yeah.
in Seattle, what was there a tipping point, or was there any particular night or function or concert or something that said said to you and to everyone else, "Oh, DJ B Mello, the
Yeah.
brand." When did that? What night did that happen, or when was there a seminal moment that
There
this all
was. I
fell into
mean,
place?
honestly, um, when they used to have the HBO Def Comedy Jam tour,
Yes.
and Kid Capri used to be the DJ, and he had to do Babyface's wedding. So
Okay.
a guy named Bob Sumner from Def Jam from Rush called out here, to find a DJ,
Right.
and somehow I got referred.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that show, you know what I'm saying,
That was it.
sold out at the Paramount,
That was it.
just killed it. It was like, yeah, it was pretty solidified. Like I had arrived, you know what I'm saying?
Done deal.
Even though I'd already been DJing, probably been DJing about 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? That,
It
and
all
then
led to
yeah,
this one night,
hmm
and the
it was just, yeah. I
from
mean, it
that
was.
point forward.
I thought, believe me, I didn't even think about getting paid, and I can't even remember what I got. I think I got like $500 in a
Yeah.
hotel and a limo ride. You know what I
Nice.
mean? And I wasn't expecting anything.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I didn't even, nowadays the first thing I talk about is money.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Unless it's
Sure.
something I really want to do.
Sure.
But
Sure.
back then I'm just like, yeah, yeah, I'm on board. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
But I would say that, and like a year later, I did a show. I had a show with Leaders in New School,
Okay.
and the Flavor Magazine. This was at Rock Candy here in Seattle,
Right. And
and I had
Flavor
a,
Magazine hosted this thing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's Mike Clark, Allison Pember,
Pember, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
gosh, who else was part
Bunch
of
of
that?
folks.
But a bunch of people were involved with that.
Allison, Rachel, Trey.
Rachel, that's right.
Who else? Man, I know I'm gonna forget people.
Okay. And so that was another.
Yeah, so I had that show. I'm thinking like, yeah, I got a show with national artists, Leaders
Mm-hmm.
in New School. I
Mm-hmm.
quit my day job,
Wow.
which was a label company in Woodinville, and I was like employee of the month and in scheduling, and you know what I mean. I had a nice
you
promising
had
career with them. You know
you,
what I mean.
you had all you could stick labels. You could put your name
I
on
had
it. You had
yo,
all that good stuff.
I would make my own cassette labels.
You had your own cassette
I had
labels.
custom cassette labels
There you go.
that myself and Supreme, we used to make mixtapes, and
Nice.
you got to see them. I got some of them. Mike Clark actually has one on his Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, like an old school Seattle
Oh
a
wow.
joint. But
Wow.
anyway, yeah, I thought I made it. I'm like, oh yeah, I made it. I
Yeah.
quit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was like hitting the lotto, but I didn't realize.
That there was still some more work ahead for you.
Oh, there was a
Yeah.
lot. That, believe me, that next month when rent and all the bills came up, I realized like, oh, I
Wait a
gotta
minute.
really,
Time for some reality.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when I
Yeah.
really started pushing mixtapes.
And that's when the mixtape thing came along.
Yeah, and
And at that time, what were some of the how were mixtapes at that time distributed? Or well, we know how they're distributed through your
right,
car,
right.
of course. But I mean,
The way I
where
did
were
it
this?
around town, this is funny. Like Mike Clark, he's the one. He used to work at Music Menu in Linwood, and
Yes.
I used to push him out of there.
Okay.
And then later like Beverly's on 23rd,
Okay.
and but besides there and like the barber shops and just different, different mom and pops, Penny Lane in Tacoma
Penny
out
Lane.
here,
Sure.
you know what I mean. And
Sure.
then I mean worldwide they had a bunch of distributors that would basically, it would buy a master copy from me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for like $100 to $250, and they would just make dubs
Right.
of tapes.
Right.
So you sell 20 of those at 250. You do the math. You
Right.
don't really have to dub your own. You just mail out one package.
Right. right,
Yeah,
right.
it's pretty good business back then.
Nice, nice.
But
And
that's pretty much how we distribute them. But I used to I would be outside every club,
yeah,
outside every when I had a gig with a tray of tapes.
right,
Really like, hey, you want to buy a
right,
mixtape? You know what I
right,
mean? Like the local artists are trying to slang
right, right,
their CDs now.
right,
Yeah, I was there, but trying to slang tapes.
right, right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So really, the beginnings of how you do street promotion and how you,
Oh yeah, yeah.
how you get that stuff out there.
Honestly, because we actually started doing street promotions right when they
Mm-hmm.
started doing street. It was
Yeah.
probably about 92, 93.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was already in the clubs. I
Right.
was already pushing stuff. I was already DJing.
Right.
We're like, oh, why don't we just, you know, it's easy
Yeah.
to have some stickers and, snipe some posters
Exactly.
outside. And we were like, oh, it just, that's how that happened,
Sure.
really.
Sure.
And a necessity for another income stream,
Right.
of course.
Right. Right. Very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good. So on the subject of mixed CDs and your choices, as far as how you go about, producing these things. Yeah, I mean, before, these other issues about,
Right, right.
you know, uh,
Like legal
corporate,
issues and
yeah, legal departments and so forth,
politics.
politics and so forth. Well, how do you assemble your choices? How do you, as a DJ, make your decision regarding what you're going to put out there. Now, and I know that you have more
Right.
autonomy on KEXP to do what you
Oh,
want and so
right,
forth.
right, right.
But so we'll keep that in mind too
So like
in
on the
this
radio or
question.
mixtape?
It is
Hon-
two separate things, but
Honestly,
do they blend? I mean, first of all,
they do kind of.
do they
I mean,
do they mix?
I think with a mixtape, it's kind of like radio. You can, I mean, basically, it's like underground radio. If you want, you can try to predict the hot new stuff. You can put the hot stuff that's out. You can
Right.
put whatever you're feeling and
Mm-hmm.
trying to push.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or you could just put all the hits that the radio's playing, and it would be probably would be a successful mixtape.
I see.
So it's up to I mean, or you could
So
put
the
an artist that you're pushing.
right,
I mean, a mixtape could just be.
right,
There's so many ways to do
right,
it. You know
right,
what I mean? It's kind of like with radio.
right,
You know what I mean? You might have a show where you have tons of freedom. You might have a show where you don't.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
That's where your skills kind of set you
Mm-hmm.
apart from another DJ.
So there are considerations then when you both when you're programming the radio
Yeah.
program as well as mix CDs. You have to look at uh, the what the listener
Right.
wants. Also, what you're trying to introduce,
Yeah.
right, and to to share
Yeah.
with the world, and then maybe that X factor, which is gosh, I don't know where this is going, but I heard this from so and so. This could be pretty cool.
Right.
So you
Right. Right.
throw it on there.
Exactly. And see the reaction. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And there used to be like a direct. I mean, at least in this market, like you said, Allison from the
Tempo.
Flavor. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she used to
Mm-hmm.
be like the 12-inch buyer at Tower in the U District. So like when I would put a mixtape out and put like an independent 12-inch,
Yeah.
they would have like tons of requests. They have to
Right.
order it in.
Right.
And move like a certain amount of
Right.
like some independent 12-inch that might be from Boston or might be
Right.
from New York that normally probably people wouldn't even know about.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I
Wow.
mean, you can't really tell me that mixtapes don't break records. You know what I mean? Or expose artists. I mean,
Exactly.
well, everybody knows nowadays.
Everyone knows. I mean, if if by the time 50 Cent
Mm-hmm.
didn't show you
Yeah, yeah.
how it's done,
He basically,
then
yeah,
maybe Drake did.
right, right. Yeah, Drake is
you know,
changing the game entirely,
completely changing it.
entirely.
Completely. Very
To have
interesting.
such a buzz, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
off of like two, three mixtapes,
yeah, yeah. Exactly,
and to be from
exactly.
Canada,
Yes, indeed.
he has a lot of obstacles. I mean, at least in hip hop,